Well, we start with last night's highly anticipated and at times quite fiery debate. Vice President Harris and former President Trump clashing over a litany of issues: abortion, economy, immigration, Ukraine, and the future of American democracy.
Harris repeatedly put Trump on the defensive, mocking his preoccupation with crowd size at his campaign rallies, suggesting he would seek a national ban on abortion. She also asserted multiple times that foreign leaders consider him a disgrace. On the other side, Trump attacked Harris as weak and liberal, blaming her for a crisis on the U.S. border with Mexico, while citing his closeness to authoritarian leaders as evidence of his good standing in the world. And each candidate painted a dire picture of America's future if the other wins the White House.
At one point during the debate, Harris listed all of Trump's legal issues when asked about Trump's claims that crime is out of control across the country. She said this:
I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted for national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing.
Former President Trump returned to the issue of illegal immigration many times during the debate, even when it was not the question or the topic at hand. That included a discussion about the economy, in which he started out by calling out Harris as a Marxist who would bring about the end of our country if elected.
Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people, not the 15 that people say, and I think it's a lot higher than the 21.
Trump went on to say that many of the people entering the country illegally are criminals, which is bad for the economy.
Let's take a look at some of the headlines this morning. They focused on Harris's strong performance last night. Reuters declaring, quote, Harris rattles Trump. And the New York Times concluding, quote, Harris puts Trump on defensive in fierce debate.
One very prominent debate viewer gave Harris a much anticipated endorsement literally within minutes of the debate ending. Taylor Swift declaring her support for Vice President Harris. All this in an Instagram post, again, right after the debate ended. The megastar wrote, quote, I think she is a steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. She signed the quote, childless cat lady, and picture there, of course, with a cat. All of it a dig at Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance's suggestion that women without children do not have an equal stake in the nation's future.
Now the big question is, will Harris and Trump face off in a second debate? The Harris campaign last night said they are ready for one, and while Trump had previously called for 3 debates with Harris, he appeared to have a change of heart while on Fox News this morning.
Well, I'd be less inclined to, because we had a great night. We won the debate. We had a terrible network. I think they were terrible. They should be embarrassed. I mean, they kept correcting me, and what I said was largely right, or I hope it was right. But what they said was absolutely wrong. The other, you know, what she said, and they refused to correct.
Well, if he decides to debate Harris again, it would come in addition to the October 1st debate between both major party vice presidential nominees. Our White House correspondent Haley Bull joins us now from Philadelphia. You spoke with campaign officials from both sides. Good morning to you. What did they have to say?
Hey, good morning. We certainly did. And after that debate that saw a lot of jabs thrown across the aisle, but with each candidate walking out of it declaring it an effective night for each of them, we are looking ahead at what happens next. And as you heard just there, former President Donald Trump seeming to throw cold water on the idea of a second debate, something the Harris campaign has indicated an openness for. Now, ahead of this debate, analysts we spoke with had indicated an expectation that what we saw last night may be the only debate we see between Trump and Harris. Keep in mind, there's just a short time until Election Day at this point. But we did press each campaign on this. Here's a little bit of what they said.
we're not in any type of negotiations for a second debate. The vice president said a while ago that she'd, be willing to do a second debate. I think that that's where our posture still remains tonight. We're more than happy to do a second debate in October if the Trump campaign will show up.
This is a campaign that just a few days ago reversed course on the rules of this debate, saying they wanted one thing after saying for weeks they wanted. So who knows what to trust? I mean, she has a history of saying one thing and doing another, so maybe that's what this is. But
Are you paving an off-ramp to a second debate?
you need to be on an on-ramp to have an off-ramp. So we have the 25th with the NBC folks. We'll see if they deal with that and then take it from there. But again, we're not sure what to believe because these are the same people who spent months telling us they were good with rules and then suddenly reversing course.
And as we have seen with the past debates, there is always a lot of back and forth between these campaigns before anything is agreed on. So what happens next, we will see. But certainly the former president's comments this morning on Fox adding new weight to this issue, you guys.
All right, White House correspondent Haley Bull reporting. Thank you, Haley.